Zip up your members-only jacket, crack open a tab, and pause your Walkman as we bring you to the 1980s.
That's right. We are the 80s Show podcast where we talk about all things 1980s. From movies to TV shows, music and stars, fads and fashions, we'll talk about anything and everything to do with the 1980s.
The 1980s, the best decade in decades.
That's right. We're your hosts. My name is Bill Lassiter alongside Damien Raffelli. Welcome to episode 3 of the 80s Show podcast. We're glad that you have joined us. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 80s Show Podcast and also on Instagram and Facebook, 80s Show Podcast. You can also email us at 80showpodcast@gmail.com. You know, if you have any suggestions for the show or any questions, we would love to hear from you. We'd like to answer you back and maybe even read some of your comments on air.
Unless you say something negative about us,
then you're blocked.
You know what? Maybe like Jimmy Kimmel will read some mean tweets too.
That might be. Let's not encourage them for mean tweets, Damien.
Okay. We'll read all the nice tweets.
My fragile ego can't take that. So all right. So today's episode, we're going to talk about our recommendations for the best VHS streaming on Netflix and Amazon Prime, I believe.
Yes.
Also, we're going to go back in time to the Super Bowl Shuffle of the 1985 Chicago Bears. And
we're going to talk about Ferris Bueller and Marty McFly. And Bill and I are going to pick one character each, and we're going to debate who would you rather be.
That's right. Character battle here on the 80s Show podcast. So look forward to that. Our first segment today is going to be our Be Kind Rewind, which is our VHS streaming recommendations. What are the best movies or shows that you can access today on your devices, computers,
your Commodore 64s, your Amigas,
your scene spells, whatever you have to watch to stream those movies on. So our first recommendation comes from Netflix, and it is a movie starring 80s star and actually 90s star
Hooch
to 2000 stars. Yes, Tom Hanks, and the movie, of course, is Turner and Hooch. That is our recommendation for movies right now on Netflix. So, Damien, why don't you tell us a little bit about Turner and Hooch, the great classic
late 80s movie with
Turner and Hooch,
with starring Hooch, who was also in Bosom Buddies. Alongside Tom Hanks, I believe. It stars another famous actor, too, from a TV show, Coach.
Yeah, that's right. Craig T. Nelson is also in Turner and Hooch. I remember him as Coach from the TV show Coach, which I think
he
probably
played a coach.
90s, early 90s?
I think he played a coach in that.
I'm not sure. I have to look that up.
All right. Well, we'll get back to it. We'll have our research team look into that. So, yeah, Tom Hanks plays a small-town detective. And, he ends up through a series of events having a dog, Hooch, and they get into a bunch of adventures together. And it's classic 80s movie. It's a comedy, of course. You've got Tom Hanks, and it's before some of his more serious roles.
Now, so I can't remember, what kind of dog was Hooch in Turner and Hooch?
We're going to save that for next week. That'll be a trivia question.
You don't know the answer.
I can't remember. I looked it up, but I can't remember.
I thought you knew the answer.
It's a big slobbering breed.
Okay, so the big slobbering breed. Because what I remember from Hooch is the shaking of the head and slobber going everywhere in that movie.
So also in 1989, which is also now on HBO, do you remember there was another buddy cop movie, buddy cop dog movie? I guess the buddy is the dog. So
yeah, I got this. Lassie and the Fuzz.
Yeah, that's it. Bingo.
Lassie and the Fuzz.
That's it. Starring
Lassie.
Yeah, Lassie from Lassie.
From Lassie, yeah, and the Fuzz, which would be cops. So it's just a bunch of cops.
Yeah,
and Lassie.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh, I know who stars it. Timmy.
Yeah, Timmy. He's got to save Timmy from the well.
Lassie and Timmy. Yeah. No, no, I do know this. This is K9. On HBO, starring I always get them mixed up. John Belushi.
The other Belushi.
Jim Belushi, right?
Yeah,
Jim Belushi.
Yeah. And I believe it's a German Shepherd.
Yes.
And K9. And you know what? Let's watch both of those, and we'll decide which one we like better.
Sounds good. So we're going to watch them both, compare them, and we'll talk about them on our next episode.
Yeah, and for those of you who are still listening to our show, give it a watch this week, and hit us up on Twitters and the Facebooks and all the Grams, and let us know what you think too, and tell us what you like better, Turner and Hooch or K9, and then join us as we discuss it and see what you think. See if you agree with Bill and I.
That sounds good. All
right, so we got before we go, we talked about a movie. Now, what about a TV show? What are we recommending?
So right now on Amazon Prime, right now you can watch the original episodes of none other than MacGyver.
Yeah, and so also, which is interesting, is there's a TV show, the reboot. I think it's in the 3rd season now, MacGyver.
Yeah, I think so. I have not watched the new MacGyver. I watched the new Magnum PI, which
we're going to talk about.
We'll talk about that later. But MacGyver, I have not seen the new MacGyver, so I'm not sure. The
only thing I could say about the new Magnum PI is there's no mustache, so it's really pointless to watch.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, there's no reason.
Yeah, I mean, he should have at least rented Tom Selleck's mustache for a season. I don't know how that works.
Sad. That turned me off immediately.
Yeah, you got to have like a fractional mustache sharing or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to have something going.
Got to have it.
All right, so I did watch the pilot for MacGyver on Amazon a couple weeks ago. But one of the most interesting things I saw in the pilot was MacGyver used guns.
Oh, because he was very anti-gun.
Yeah, he's huge anti-gun.
So you saw the original MacGyver or the reboot MacGyver?
Oh, the original pilot.
MacGyver.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So this is funny because I didn't know this until right now when I looked it up. What's MacGyver's first name?
Jerry
MacGyver. I think you're thinking of Jerry Maguire, starring Tom Hanks.
Okay. Herschel.
No, his first name is Angus.
Oh, you know what? I did know that.
Angus
now that you
MacGyver.
Say it. That's like the steak.
Yeah, isn't there
the bowl,
like
the bowl?
Yeah. So yeah, Angus MacGyver
or cow.
When you compare Chuck Norris and MacGyver, basically Chuck Norris is the man that can kill someone with the same force it takes to bend a paperclip. MacGyver is the guy who can kill someone with that bent paperclip.
Yeah, or defuse a nuclear bomb with a paperclip.
Yeah, and some bubble gum, I believe.
It has to be bubble gum, though.
Yeah. Of course, MacGyver also famous for launching the spinoff MacGruber. MacGruber. Gruber. Yeah. So anyway, those are our recommendations on our VHS streaming recommendations. Turner and Hooch on Netflix, K9 on HBO or HBO Go, and of course on Amazon Prime, MacGyver, the original series.
And most importantly, remember, be kind, rewind.
Hey, if it's on video, Blockbuster probably has it. I mean, we have over 10,000 videos.
Blockbuster Video! Wow, what a difference!
Do you remember this happened in the 1980s? Today we're talking about the 1985 Chicago Bears Super Bowl Shuffle. Great song. Okay, Damien, I don't know if I can use the word great, but I'll say it was a song that the 1985 Bears recorded. It actually was, and they made a video. I do miss music videos, Damien. I miss watching music videos on MTV.
When MTV actually showed music videos rather than Jersey Shore and reality TV.
Yeah, all the other TV shows. I do miss them. And of course, right in the middle of the 80s was a huge craze of, music videos and things like that. And so the Chicago Bears decided to jump on that bandwagon. They were having
they created that bandwagon. They were the first.
The first team. I'm just saying, like, jump on the bandwagon of music videos. Yeah, for sure. They're the first team to come out with a song, to come out with a music video. And the funny thing was, they actually filmed it and they recorded it during the middle of the season. It was in between the playoffs and the Super Bowl. So they actually recorded it in 1985, so it would come out around the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 20. I think we're doing maybe Super Bowl 53 or something like that this year.
Yeah, we're old.
Yeah, so it's been a long time. Well, 1980s. Yeah, 1985. So they recorded that just before they beat the Patriots 46-10 the Super Bowl. Tell us a little bit about who some of the stars of the Bears were that year.
Well, I got to tell you, a 12-year-old me loved the Super Bowl Shuffle. Even though I was living on the East Coast, I was living in Massachusetts at the time, which is
that's
funny
right.
because
That's
they
funny.
played the Pats
Yeah.
pre-Tom Brady years. This is 1986. They played the Bears in the Super Bowl. Of course, like you just said, they slaughtered them. They slaughtered the Patriots 46-10. But I was I think it's just because of Jim McMahon and Walter Payton and all these guys. I was a huge Bears fan, and I even had a Bears jersey, McMahon jersey back.
Did you get beat up like going to school? Like I can't even imagine. I know how rabid Massachusetts, Boston sports fans are. Like, how did you survive?
I was a tough kid, Bill.
We know that's not true.
Okay, I got beat up a lot.
Okay. So, so of course, Mike Ditka, all those guys. And then, of course, the big star that year happened to be William the Refrigerator Perry, who was a defensive lineman and big, beefy dude. He was actually a rookie that season. He was 6'3", 380 pounds. That's
big
a
boy.
big boy.
But he slimmed down later that season, down to 350. He got, he really had to take it down.
Jeez, yeah.
And he was still big at 350. But he was quick too. I mean, for a big boy, he could move.
Oh my gosh. So they record this awesome video, and really, we should probably put the link up for everybody.
We'll play a little bit. We'll play a clip in this, in a few seconds. Now, the video, I have to warn you, is a 6-minute long rap video. And I'm going to use the word rap very loosely.
Yeah.
And it features, I think, all the players except for one. I think it was like the punter. Somebody refused to be in it, didn't want to embarrass himself or something.
Wow.
But so it's pretty much every player gets featured in this. So it's 6 minutes long. That's a pretty long song, worth every second of it, though.
Wow. That's a 6-minute long song. That's like November Rain from Guns N' Roses or something. That's a long song, man.
It's like a short film.
Yeah. So how did it do, like, as far as popularity?
Well, it was really popular. I mean, despite, how people might make fun of it and maybe doesn't have the quality of, like, say, a Michael Jackson song.
Okay. Yeah, because that's the 80s, yeah.
Believe it or not, it was on the Billboard 100.
Ooh, really? So, like, top 10, top 5?
It actually hit number 41.
Okay. All right. Yep. Okay, number 41 on the Billboard 100.
Did you know it was nominated for a Grammy also?
That is freaking terrible, dude.
And I
cannot believe it was nominated for a Grammy.
They were up against Prince, of course, and lost to Prince for Kiss.
Oh, my gosh. Well,
I would have paid money for that to have won a Grammy, though, for the Super Bowl Shuffle to have won a Grammy. It would have been awesome.
So, what? Like, if they had won, the whole team comes up on stage to accept the Grammy? Like, I don't know how that works. I mean, that's...
I guess so.
It's funny.
They did raise money for charity. That was the pretense for it. I think it was a little bit more just to showcase their musical abilities.
Well, they were definitely showmen too. I mean, they were besides showing off their musical abilities. I mean, Jim McMahon was known as kind of a showboat on the field and this and that, and he had a famous brawl or brawl with the commissioner of the NFL, Pete Rozelle, at the time. So I could totally see them trying to do something like this just to stick it in the face of the established NFL and
didn't Jim McMahon do something with the WWF too for after he was a football player? I'm gonna look into that, Bill, for next week.
No,
I could be wrong on that.
It was another guy that was on the '85 Bears, and I can't remember his name, but yes, someone from the Bears was in the WWF for a little bit, and I can't remember who it was.
Well, you told me another story too about Walter Payton. This is a story I didn't know. As Bill and I were watching the Super Bowl Shuffle, I was talking about how as a kid, I loved watching I loved watching Walter Payton, of course, but I thought it was awesome during the Super Bowl when the Fridge scored a touchdown. He's a defensive lineman. He's this big, huge guy.
Right.
They put him on the offensive line, on the goal line, and they give him the ball. And he scores a touchdown, which was a huge thing.
Yeah, and so what's interesting is I watched this. It was actually an ESPN 30 for 30 movie about the '85 Bears, and actually it's another documentary came out this week, and I want to watch it too, but I haven't seen it yet. So, but anyway, Walter Payton is known as probably one of the best, if not the best, running back of all time.
Absolutely, probably the best
in the NFL, and. of course, the Bears blow out the Pats 46-10. That's a lot of points in the Super Bowl. 46 points, a lot of points. And Walter Payton was really upset that he did not get to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. And in fact, it became such a hot button issue that him and Mike Ditka didn't talk for a long, long time because Mike Ditka, being the head coach, calls the plays. They didn't give it the sweetness. They didn't give it to Walter Payton. He didn't get to have a touchdown in the Super Bowl, which I think about that like, yeah, that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. I mean, as exciting as it is to see a 380 pound lineman score a touchdown, it would have been nice to throw Walter Payton a bone, especially when you're up that much.
Yeah, I had no idea he didn't score a touchdown. Never thought about it. I feel bad for Walter Payton after hearing that story.
Yeah, and of course, Walter Payton passed away a few years later, and Mike Ditka and him never really made up. So it's kind of a sad ending to that. But if you want to cheer yourself up, go ahead and take a listen to this.
1, 2, 3, 4. We are the Bears, shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good, blowing your mind like we knew we would. You know we're just strutting for fun, strutting our stuff for everyone. We're not here to start no trouble. We're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
That was awesome, but that started a trend, didn't it?
Oh, thank God it did. Thank God it did. So, with the Super Bowl Shuffle hitting number 41 on the Billboard Top 100. Now, that's a big deal.
That's about 300 spots higher than anybody thought it would.
Yeah, right,
reach.
exactly. And so, a couple other teams decided to play their hand at the old music video. And of course, there were two teams in Los Angeles at the time, the LA Rams and the LA Raiders, and both of them came up with their own music videos. The LA Raiders came up with a video called Silver and Black, and it goes like, "We wear the silver, we wear the black, don't get in our way." And it's not that great.
Just so you guys know, that was Bill singing that. It wasn't the original. That's how talented Bill is. That's amazing.
No royalties needed to be paid to me for that.
And he's not a football player either. I don't even know how you're able to do that.
That's true. And of course, the Los Angeles Rams, one of the greatest songs ever written, "Just Ram It." Oh, it's such a terrible video. It's so terrible. It's good. The Rams in the 1980s made this video. They filmed it in old Anaheim Stadium. Looks like it's late at night. They have some sweet dance moves. Just ram it. Oh, and
how does that go?
Just ram it. You know you want to ram it, but just ram it. We be rocking LA, so let's ram it today. Just ram it. And then there's some rapping in between.
Ram it, you see. If you ram it just right, you can ram it all night.
It was pretty funny. I went to LA Rams game not too long ago against the Minnesota Vikings, and they had some of the old players from the 80s Rams on the field, and they would zoom up on their faces, and then they would show their part of the video from Just Ram It, and they were just so embarrassed. It was awesome. It was just so it's so terrible. It's so good. It's so terrible. It's so good. So I highly recommend you taking a look on YouTube or wherever you can get it. Just Ram It from the LA Rams in the 1980s.
And that's why the 80s were the best decade in decades.
That's right. So that does it for us for Do You Remember That This Happened in the 1980s?
It's time for the 80s character battle. Who would you rather be?
That's right. So today we are going to battle it out here. Live on, well, it's not live on it. Well, it's live right now for us, but we're recording as people are listening to it. It's weird, but here we go. So
if you had a time machine, we could go back and correct that.
Let's not get into it yet. So we are going to battle out. Who would you rather be, Marty McFly, or from Back to the Future, or Ferris Bueller from Ferris Bueller's Day Off? So here's the rules, Damien. Here's how we're going to do this. So we are going to each pick a character. We're going to decide, we're going to say why that their character is better. And then we're going to be able to attack the other character and then have a final statement at the end.
Let's go.
All right.
Bring it on, Bill.
So,
or should I say Bueller?
While you listen to us, Go ahead and hit us up on Twitter at 80 Show Podcast. You can vote over who you would rather be, based on our arguments and your own thoughts. You can use hashtag Team Bueller or hashtag Team McFly, and let us know, who would you rather be, Marty McFly or Ferris Bueller?
I have a feeling Team McFly is going to win this one.
Well, let's get to it. So Damien has decided that he is going to choose Marty McFly, and he is up first to defend the merits of one Martin J. I don't know if his first name is Martin or not. Marty McFly.
Let's just assume it's Martin.
Okay.
All right. Well, number one, and the most important reason I would want to be Marty McFly versus Ferris Bueller is Marty McFly has a sweet, sweet vest.
Can't deny that.
Do you remember those puffy vests where, I think the jacket sleeves actually zipped off?
Oh, yeah.
Those were the
some
best.
Sweet 80s-tastic clothing.
It's
right
like
there,
a 2-in-1. It might be reversible, too. Then you got like a 3-in-1.
For sure.
Or 4-in-1. You got 2 vests and 2 jackets.
It's a life preserver, kid.
No, it's a vest. And number 2, even more important than the vest, to get the girls. I mean, the vest, hey, it's top fashion. But number 2, the DeLorean. The best sports car ever made in the 1980s by an American independent car manufacturer who sold cocaine to fund making said car.
That seems like a pretty narrow scope of competition there, but okay.
Believe it or not, it was the 80s. Everybody was funding their businesses by selling cocaine, I think.
True. It's probably true.
All right, we're going to actually we're going to talk about DeLorean in another episode because that's a fascinating story.
Yeah.
All right, and he's got the best friends. I mean, he's got an very much older male friend with sweet hair.
I can't attack yet, can I?
Who's a scientist.
Okay.
And not just any scientist. He's cool because he sells fake plutonium to Iranian terrorists.
It's Libyan terrorists. I know more about this movie. It's
Libyan. I'm sorry.
Right.
I apologize.
Think 80s. Well, I mean,
I'm thinking a little bit too modern.
Libyan terrorists. Yep. Who drove a Volkswagen bus?
Yeah, and shot AK-47s at Marty McFly. Where were his parents, by the way? Good parenting, because this is at late at night in the middle of a Twin Pines Mall at the time.
Yep. Which then became
Lone Pine after he ran over the.
Do you know where that scene was filmed?
No, I don't.
Brea Mall.
Was that really a Brea Mall?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting because Bill and I went to college. Just a few miles away from Brea Mall.
That's right.
All right. We've got some good stories about Brea Mall. We'll save those for another time.
That's true.
Okay. And let's just face it, Bueller got one movie and Marty McFly got 3 movies out of it. And let's look at box office. We got some cha-ching here, right? We just for the first movie alone got $389 million versus $70 million. Of course, Back to the Future being the $389 million.
They probably got more if Eric Stoltz had been the Marty McFly.
That's a funny story. I did not know that until you told me that, Bill.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So if you don't know, Eric Stoltz actually filmed 5 weeks worth of filming as Marty McFly, and Robert Zemeckis said, I'm not sure if this is a guy, and somehow was able to get Michael J. Fox, who's busy with Family Ties, to come in and redo and get the studio to agree to scrap 5 weeks of filming and bring in Michael J. Fox. And I agree. Like that, you can't have Marty McFly without Michael J. Fox for sure.
Well, thanks for helping me make my point for me.
See, I'm being nice.
McFly saved the movie.
All right. Yeah.
Using his time machine, most likely, because he knew Eric Stoltz was going to ruin the movie. Took the time machine back to get himself recast. Boom. That makes the logic is solid.
Boom,
trust me on that.
roasted. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and the trilogy made almost $1 billion at the box office. So, hands down, more popular by far.
Yeah, but who would you rather be?
Well, I would rather be Marty
characters.
McFly.
Okay.
And again, you don't have to deal with Charlie Sheen. Another bonus.
That's a good point, actually. That's a good point.
How about the ability to time travel?
Okay.
Marty McFly went back in time to the 50s, went back in time, was in the third one to the 1880s. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty cool. You get to be a Western. You get to, trains and horses and guns and cowboys and robbers and all that stuff.
Yeah, Crab Outdoors. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I didn't really like the third one that much. But, okay, let's just go back to the second one where he went to the future, which is now our past. That's how old we are.
Holy
He went to 2015 in number 2.
Okay.
Is that scary? That's how
He went back to... Okay, go ahead.
He went back to the future, which now is our past.
Right.
All right. So time travel. He can go and he can change the past, and he did change his own past and his own future and other people's past and future. Mm-hmm. So this is what gives
Reckless. Sorry.
Oh, it depends, because you can always go back and change your mistakes.
Okay.
Because,
Unless your time machine gets destroyed by a train.
the butterfly effect.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Okay, this is the biggest advantage of time travel. Marty McFly could go back into the past. Instead of seducing his own mother like he did in the film, he could hike up his Calvin Klein underwear and seduce Ferris Bueller's mom before Ferris Bueller's mom met his dad, and marry her and hook up with her and become Ferris Bueller's dad. Marty McFly could literally become Ferris Bueller's dad.
So
Okay,
I can't. I'm not allowed to attack yet because I'm going to attack.
You
at
can.
The end. No.
But you know what? Case closed. Case closed.
Case closed.
All right. Call me daddy.
All right, Damien. Here we go. So you brought some good points to the forefront here, but let me just tell you why Ferris Bueller is much, much better than Marty McFly. So first of all, let's talk about what he did. I mean, so the whole course of the movie takes over a day, just one day. Now, Marty McFly, we get to see some more things with him. And we asked Siri, who's better? Who's better, Siri? Who's better? That's right. Siri just said, Ferris Bueller is better than Marty McFly. So anyway, he skips school with his best friend and his girlfriend, right? And not only does he skip school, but he has the most epic day anybody could possibly have. So he gets to drive a Ferrari around, which is way better than a DeLorean. Come on. A Ferrari is way better than a DeLorean.
I do have to say it. Anything Italian's better.
Coming from the Italian stallion himself, Damon Raffelli. So gets to drive around a Ferrari. Let's not forget that he led the entire city of Chicago into a Disney-like dance party, singing. Remember what song it was?
Shout.
That's Twist and Shout by the Beatles. Yes, but Twist and Shout. He also got to play a role as Abe Froman, Sausage King of Chicago. Come on. Got to give that up. Okay, Damien, we've probably been to hundreds of baseball games together. Would you agree with that? Hundreds of games together?
Oh, easily, especially if you include spring training games.
Yeah. So how many foul balls have you caught?
Not including spring training, never.
Never. And Ferris Bueller gets to catch a foul ball in the most beautiful ballpark in the Major League Baseball, Wrigley Field, while he's sitting with his best friend and his girlfriend, Sloan. So let's just talk about Sloan for a second.
Is that like every point? Sloan.
Pretty much Sloan. I had a huge crush in the 80s over Sloan, the girlfriend, and she didn't. Really. She was just so good looking.
She's no Leah Thompson.
I don't think Ferris Bueller was able to. Well, see, that's the other thing. Ferris Bueller didn't actually make out with his own family member like Marty McFly did with his mom.
That could be a pro, depending on which side of that you're on.
I'm not sure.
If you're in the deep south, maybe that's a pro.
All right, so let me just tell you this.
Cameron.
Or Utah. Cameron is such a better best friend than Doc is, and vice versa. Ferris Bueller is a good friend to Cameron, brings him out of his shell, gets him to have a good time out on the town, and he's doing that for himself, but also for Cameron. I mean, he really is. Plus, look how popular the kid is. Ferris Bueller gets the entire school behind him. They start painting water towers, save Ferris. They raise money to save Ferris. I mean, come on. That is pretty incredible. Plus, he has some sweet 1980s computer skills setting up his room so his parents don't realize that he's not actually there. Not only that, but he's in a movie made by the most iconic, and I will say this, the most iconic 80s writer, director, producer, John Hughes.
Robert Zemeckis.
No, John Hughes. Every John Hughes movie is 80s-tastic. It really is.
Did he make some other movies in the 80s? The name sounds familiar.
There's a couple. I should use the interwebs. I should ask Jeeves to tell me some more of those movies. So Ferris is a leader of men. Okay. Marty is that guy. He can kind of get some stuff done, but no one's going to follow him. No one followed him in that movie. Everybody loves Ferris. Ferris would be the CEO of a company, okay? And Marty McFly, he's got an anger issue, right? I mean, come on, anybody calls him chicken, he just loses his crap, dude.
Yeah, if somebody calls me yellow, they're going to get what's coming to them.
All right, so here's the other thing.
And that is a dump truck full of horse manure.
So, Mr. Rooney, the principal, I mean, he is absolutely the worst, I'll say it, douchebag in the movies. I mean, he's terrible, right?
I think in real life as well.
Yeah, there's some of that stuff too. But he is a terrible, terrible person. And Ferris Bueller gets to give him the old Scroogey. I mean, he is going to get caught. He's not going to get caught. He's trying to track him down. He ends up grabbing some girl's butt in the arcade. That's Principal Rooney, not Ferris Bueller. Although maybe he grabbed Sloane's butt in the arcade at one point. I don't know. I mean, that could have happened. And in the end, his sister actually saves him. From everything. And it is a happy ending to the story. I will, aside from Charlie Sheen. It is a happy ending to the story. It really is. And that is why Ferris Bueller is definitely better than Marty McFly.
All I heard was blah, 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 blah. That's all I heard. Marty McFly, at least he's a real person. He's got his issues. He's, you know who he is. He doesn't hide who he is. Ferris Bueller, total con artist. Complete narcissist. Total con artist. All right, let me make my case here. A lot of things you said that make him a good friend or a good person just show he's a con artist. He cons his parents into thinking he's still at home sleeping because he's sick, making, with his synthesizer. And who is a mannequin? That's a little creepy, too. Is it a sex doll or a mannequin? What is that?
His parents care about him, and Marty McFly's parents don't give a crap about him.
If they cared about him, they would have bought him a car and not a computer.
They bought his sister a car, and she gave him rides, so it's okay. Did Marty McFly have a car? No, he had a skateboard. Lame.
But it was a hoverboard, actually.
That's later on.
No, that was in 2015. That was in 2015. That was in the past.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, this is a real.
He's a con artist. He pretends to be her dad, tells the school her grandfather, somebody died. Sloane. I'm talking about, Ferris Bueller's girlfriend, Sloane. Gets her out of school. And yeah, okay, Marty McFly may have inadvertently made out with his mom. But you got Ferris Bueller pretending to be her dad, making out with her in front of the school as school officials are watching.
Exactly.
That's creepy.
Is it?
Okay, con artist Bueller, who should be in white-collar prison. Or federal pound me in the prison.
Yep. Hashtag Office Space.
So, he also cons, Cameron into, stealing his dad's car, knowing Cameron's going to get in trouble.
No.
He knows.
You got it wrong.
No, he's using Cameron. He knows Cameron doesn't have any friends and he's sad and he's depressed. He's using somebody who's feeling low and taking advantage of him.
Damien, he is getting Cameron to come out of his shell to stand up to his father. That's the whole idea. He makes people around him a better person. Marty McFly just makes people around him get screwed because of time travel and his mom making out with him.
And Bueller is a truant playing hooky. Have you ever played hooky, Bill?
It's a truant.
It's a truant.
He's a truant.
Have you ever played hooky?
The truant police. I probably have in the day. Yeah, back in the day.
All right. How old were you, and what happened? What's the story behind it?
I do have a funny story. So this is a total tangent. I don't know if we're going to use this for the episode, but one time my friend Jim and we ditched school. We went to this little lake, Laguna Niguel Regional Lake or something like that, and we went fishing because that's what you do when you're a stupid thing to do. But we went fishing, and we caught a large fish. And they took a picture of us because it was the largest fish of the month for that lake, and it was the Saddleback Valley News was in it. And so our pictures were in the paper showing us catching this fish when we had ditched school that day. Yep, true story.
So now I know why you chose Ferris Bueller.
He had a much more epic day than I did, for sure.
So how old were you at the time?
I think I was like a freshman in high school.
Okay. All right. So I have a story when I played hooky. Did you get arrested?
Did not get arrested.
Okay. So I did. Well, I was in the back of the police car. I don't think I was
boy.
officially arrested, but I was placed in the back of the police car along with my brother. I was about 8 or 9 years old when I played hooky.
Wow.
And got arrested.
Delinquent.
Yes. Apparently I missed the bus to school in the morning. My mom, I don't know, she was working or something, or just lazy, just didn't want to take me to school, or we didn't have a car. I don't know what the story was. Anyway, she told me to walk to school, which was a very, very long way. It was like 4 or 5 miles probably from our house. I'm a little kid. I'm scared to walk to school. My brother's got to go to school too, but his school is really actually in walk distance and close. And so I would have had to walk most of the way by myself. So my brother apparently has ditched school before, and it's like, hey, why don't we just ditch? And so we go over to another friend, one of his friends' house, and we all end up hanging out by the quarry all day.
Oh, yeah. Hanging by the quarry.
The Brownstone Quarry. And so, around 3 o'clock or whatever, what time we should have been getting off school, we decide, well, we'll just walk back like we're leaving school. Well, apparently the police had been out looking for us for a while because the school called my mom and I think my dad as well. My parents were divorced at the time. And so we got picked up by the police pretty quickly, and they wanted to scare us straight, and they did.
So basically, Ferris Bueller is your idol.
No, Marty McFly, because if I could have gone back in time, I wouldn't have gotten caught.
Sounds like you really wanted to be Ferris Bueller when you were growing up. I mean, hanging out at the rock quarry is pretty fun, but so is leading a dance in downtown Chicago. All right, so you want to attack Ferris Bueller anymore? Or is it my turn to attack Marty McFly?
The floor is yours.
Okay, so let's just talk about Marty McFly for a second. Number one, he is an outcast. Nobody likes him. He plays guitar. He plays guitar. The owner or the writer of the song he's playing doesn't even like his music. Huey Lewis is like, this sucks when he's playing guitar. He didn't fit in well with school. The principal's always on him. Of course, Ferris Bueller, the principal's on him too as well. He definitely had anger management problems. In fact, and it's a generational thing for Marty McFly. What a loser that guy is. And he does have a lot of teen angst for sure. Marty McFly does. Let's talk about his best friend. His best friend is a disgraced nuclear physicist who, in 1985, he's either 40 or 80. We don't know how old Doc is. I mean, the guy is 40 or 80. I mean, how old is Doc?
I think Christopher Lloyd is still the same age now as he was when he made Back to the Future.
I think you're probably right. I mean, the guy is just, yeah. So that's his best friend, okay? His dad's a loser. His mom's a loser. His brother and sister are losers.
Well, which movie? I mean, at the end of the first movie, they aren't losers anymore. He changed all that.
Right, but don't you think deep down inside they still have those issues? Yes, they do.
No, because he changed it.
No, deep down inside they
With
still have
just
those
a few
issues.
simple things, he changed his parents' entire personalities.
Okay, so let me give you another point.
That's completely possible.
So Ferris Bueller's sister, played by Jennifer Grey, she does hook up with Charlie Sheen in the movie, which I know you're saying that is a negative.
Well, I don't have tiger's blood myself.
Let's not forget, Charlie Sheen fought off the Russians in the greatest 80s movie ever made, Red Dawn.
Wolverines!
Basically, I tied in Red Dawn to my movie, so I'm going to win. I'm going to definitely win this debate for sure.
I got to say, you get a point just for that.
I do get a point for that. And then let's just talk about style for a second. Marty McFly, he wears a life preserver around the 1950s and the 1980s. Ferris Bueller was able to dress himself to the point where he was able to convince the owner of a restaurant that he was Abe Froman, Sausage King of Chicago. You can pull that off with a vest. I'm sorry, with a life preserver like Marty McFly. He was wearing a leopard vest. I mean, come on, that's 80s-tastic right there. Plus, let's not forget his computer skills. Remember, Ferris Bueller had computer skills. He was able to program his computer to set his music to show that he was snoring. What can Marty McFly? He can't even figure out the flux capacitor. Yeah, exactly. You're dumbfounded. You know why? Because so is Marty McFly. He is dumb and founded. He is dumbfounded and he's dumb. Okay? Let's just put it out there. He's got anger issues and he's dumbfounded, and his best friend is a disgraced nuclear physicist. Boom, roasted.
Am I allowed to respond? I don't think so. Do I get another response? Or
so this is the part where we are allowed to give our final comments on our characters.
I just got to say, becoming Ferris Bueller's dad via time travel, that's all I need. Marty McFly becomes Ferris Bueller's dad. That's all I got to say. And
then Ferris Bueller's going to trick him later on in life and skip school. So boom, roasted.
All right, tell us what you think.
Well, wait, I get a closing line.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think.
No, here's my closing line. As stated in the movie, jocks, motorheads, stoners, sluts, bloods, dweebs, and brains all think that Ferris is a righteous dude. And so should you, Damien. So go ahead and hit us up on Twitter at 80 Show Podcast and let us know, are you hashtag Team Bueller or hashtag Team McLoser? What is his name?
McFly.
Oh, hashtag Team McFly.
And, you know what, Bill? Don't forget, we asked a few people, who would you rather date?
That's right. So since, we've got the guy perspective here for sure. And so we asked some ladies out on the street, who would you rather date, Ferris Bueller or Marty McFly? And here's what they had to say.
I would have dated Ferris Bueller.
Why?
Because to me, he's just a natural, cool guy, and he could talk his way out of anything, which is just the best. And he was just cool.
All right, ladies. In the 1980s, who would you have rather dated, Marty McFly or Ferris Bueller?
Ferris Bueller. I would have said Ferris Bueller as well.
And why is that?
He's a rebel. He has more fun than Marty McFly. Marty McFly is just so stressed about everything.
And Marty McFly's a little bit boring, so I would say Ferris Bueller.
And Ferris Bueller had a better car to drive around in.
Better than a DeLorean?
Yes, that thing sucked.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. In the 1980s, who would you have rather dated, Marty McFly or Ferris Bueller?
Ferris Bueller.
Why?
He's hotter.
Any other reason?
He's funnier.
All right. Who would you rather date in the 1980s, Marty McFly or Ferris Bueller?
For sure, Marty McFly.
For sure, Ferris Bueller.
Ooh, differing opinions. All right. Tell us why. For Marty McFly, why?
Because I've always wanted to date a cowboy.
Oh, okay. She's going back to the Future 3 right there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And what about you?
I didn't even remember the cowboy one. Yeah. Ferris Bueller, because he seemed a little dorky, but a little cool. So,
the best of both worlds.
Best
right
of both
there.
worlds.
Okay.
All right. Who would you rather have dated in the 1980s, Marty McFly or Ferris Bueller?
Ferris Bueller.
And why?
Because he was fun, and he ditched school, and he hung out with his friends all day.
All right, got a couple guys here now. All right, guys. Who would you have rather been in the 1980s? Marty McFly or Ferris Bueller?
Marty McFly.
Ferris Bueller.
Okay, we got a split vote here. Why Marty McFly?
Because you can travel back to the future or to the future, and since I'm a car guy too, like the DeLorean, and I would go back to the future, maybe buy a couple cars that are worth money now, and
you mean you go back to the past?
Yeah, back to the past.
All right, and why Ferris Bueller?
That's a long-winded answer. I'm just going to say one name, Sloan.
There you have it. Sloan outweighs the DeLorean.
Don't forget to vote on Twitter at 80 Show Podcast and use your hashtag Team McFly.
Wait, no. They're going to use the hashtag Team Bueller for this one because they're going to vote Team Ferris Bueller.
Well, they're going to use the hashtag of the one that they think that they would rather be and who won the debate. So obviously it's going to be
Bueller.
Team McFly.
Okay, all right. Agree to disagree, my friend. So you can also email us at 80showpodcast@gmail.com. We like to hear your thoughts and what you think about this. Maybe we'll even read them on air. And so, okay, Damien, what do we have coming up in episode 4?
Well, we're going to discuss our VHS streaming recommendation, Turner and Hooch.
That's right. So if you have the chance between now and next week or in a couple weeks, whatever, watch Turner and Hooch, and then we will discuss that together on the podcast. And then you can also email us at 80showpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts about Turner and Hooch, and then we can maybe read some of those comments on the airs. Also, we are going to pitch a sequel to the 80s classic Goonies. I'm looking forward to that, Damien.
I've got some amazing ideas, and I'm actually pitching them. I'm meeting with some producers this week.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yes, and by producers, I mean, I'm meeting with some friends
that produce other things.
Well, they have YouTube channels.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not just anybody can have a YouTube channel, though. So.
No. You have to have you have to have an email address. So that's good. Yeah, that's good. What else are we gonna do on episode 4, Damien?
Well, you're gonna tell us what was on your 80s mixtape.
That's right. So looking forward to that, episode 4. And again, once more, don't forget to hit us up on Twitter at 80 Show Podcast. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram, 80 Show Podcast, or email us at 80showpodcast@gmail.com, and our website, 80showpodcast.com. So we look forward to hearing from you in the future.
Hey, and if you enjoyed this, don't forget to tell your friends about us.
For the 80 Show Podcast, alongside Damon Raffelli, I'm Bill Lassiter. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Where we're going, we don't need roads. Theme song composed by my good friend, fellow rock star, straight out of Bakersfield. You may also know him from the band Videodrone, Mark Russell Davis.